Hey there, this is Andrew, and I'm going to bring you another deck opening right now. This is a Grim Reminders deck. It's a special retail edition from Paradise Games. So it will have that in the name as well as on the card back. So this is Wordless Atia or Atia of Paradise Games. Cool. And we've got Mars, Geistoid, and Fish. So that's a lot of shenanigans that could be happening in here. I'm always hoping for Brio, but I'm hoping for some disruption and speed. Here's some crazy combos in Mars that'll make my opponent doubt whether the game was play tested. And then in Geistoid, some cool combos around hunting. We'll see. Start with Geistoid. We have Replicative Growth, which is an action with an amber that says for the remainder of the turn, each friendly creature gains, after reap, move one amber from this creature to your pool. So we hope for some capture, but we'll see. Boiler is a 2-power Spectre robot with 4 armor. When it's destroyed, you deal 6 damage to each enemy flank creature. If you scrap it, you deal 1 damage to each enemy creature. We've got Tribute Collector, which is a 4-power Spectre robot with 2 armor. When you play it or after it fights, a friendly creature captures 1. That's actually cool because it means you can capture 1 onto something else, which can then reap to move that amber to your pool. Veil of Ectoplasm is an action that says for each Geistoid card in your discard pile, a friendly creature captures 1. Okay, that's a decent combo. We've got Ecto Charge, an action with an amber that lets you forge a key at current cost plus 20, reduced by 1 for each card in your discard pile. It's been errated, so it won't let you forge for less than 6. And if you do forge, you purge it. We've got Harvest Skimmer, a 5-power Spectre robot with after reap. Discard the top card of your deck. If it's a creature, gain 1. Ooh, in here somewhere is an action with an amber that says if you're haunted, archive 2 cards from your discard pile. That's so good. Otherwise, discard the top 5 cards of your deck. That's a good way to get back the Replicative Growth, potentially, or the Ecto Charge. Obviously, you can only fire the Ecto Charge once, but if you discard it, this is a way to get it back. Okay, Junk Restoration is an action with an amber. It enhances with 2 discards, and when you play it, you discard the top 3 cards of your deck, and then you may put a card discarded this way into your hand. Reaver is a 4-power Spectre vehicle. It enhances with a capture and 2 discards. After it reaps, you move 1 from a friendly creature to your pool, and if you do that, you discard a card. Snippy is a 3-power Spectre robot with Skirmish. When you play it, you deal 2 damage to a creature, and when you scrap it, you destroy an enemy flank creature. We've got Winds of Death, an action that has you archive each creature from your discard pile. You and your opponent each do that, and then you destroy each creature. I'll be a stray. That's great. 6-power Spectre vehicle. If you're haunted, it enters play ready, and after it reaps, you capture 1. Obviously, if you combine that with Replicative Growth, it says after you reap, steal 1. So, nice. Okay, let's look at Mars now. We have Destructive Analysis. This is an action with an amber. This one has a discard pip on it. When you play it, you deal 2 damage to a creature. You may purge any number of cards from your archives, and then you deal an additional 2 damage to the same creature for each card purged this way. It's fine. We've got Airlock, an artifact and location. When you action it, you discard a non-Mars card from your hand, and if you do, you draw a card. Loyalty Implants is an artifact and item with Omni, destroy it, and you may use friendly Mars creatures this turn. We've got Abductomatic, a 4-power robot with 2 armor. This says after fight, if you're haunted, capture 2, and if you scrap it, the least powerful friendly creature captures 2. Brain Dart is an action with an amber. This one got a discard icon on it. If you play it, you enrage an enemy creature, and it captures 1 from its own side. Brash Grabber is a 3-power scientist and Martian. This one got a capture icon on it. If you're not haunted, it enters play enraged, and you can omni it to move 1 from an enemy creature to your pool. We've got 2 of those. Interestingly, it took me a while to figure this out, but even if you play it early and it's haunted, or and it's enraged, on your next turn, if you're not in Mars, it can't fight, so you can still do the Omni ability. So it's just an interesting little factoid. 3 Brash Grabbers, wow. And then an Ironics Rebel. This is a 2-power Martian Ironics with deploy, and after it's played, you ready each of its Mars neighbors. Well, cool. We've got some good Mars neighbors potentially for it. Mars First is an action with an amber that says play, ready, and use a friendly Mars creature. Plague Wind is an action that says until the end of the turn, each non-Mars creature gets -3 power. Good way to partially wipe the board. Terrible Teammates is an action with an amber that enhances your deck with a draw and a discard, and when you play it, you may discard a non-Mars card. Cool. On theme for the set. I actually don't think this Mars is great. It seems okay, but not great. The Geistoid seems more interesting. Not top tier, but interesting, I think. On to Fish. We've got Dragnet. I love this card. It's an action with an amber. You return a creature and each neighbor that shares a house with it to their owner's hands. That can be brutal. Usually you're using this to slow your opponent down, but occasionally it's good for you too. Stir Crazy is an action with an amber. When you play it, each ready creature captures 1 amber from its opponent. Arcane Transmitter is an artifact with an amber. This one got a draw pip on it. It's an item. When you action it, you discard the top 4 cards of any player's deck. If you scrap it, you shuffle your discard pile into your deck, which actually includes the Arcane Transmitter because you trigger scrap from the discard pile, technically. Got another Arcane Transmitter, this one with a discard pip instead of a draw pip. Covetous Hema, 2 discard pips on this. It's a 3-power Aquan that says while it's not on a flank, it gets elusive, and when you play it, you capture 3. Nice. And that doesn't help with replicative growth, but it can work. It can synergize just fine with the Reaver. Then we have Echo Guardian, a 1-power beast with 4 armor and taunt. And while you're haunted, it gets +2 power and poison. We've got a second one of those. Immersioneer is a 5-power scientist in Aquan. After it reaps, you discard the top 3 cards of any player's deck. If you scrap it, you shuffle the bottom 3 cards of your discard pile into your deck. Corricate Germinator is a 5-power Aquan with play or after reap. Put a card from a player's discard pile on the bottom of their deck. Very nice for getting things back. What do I want to get back? Maybe Dragnet, Mars First, Rebel, Brain Dart's fine, Winds of Death, yeah, Junk Restoration in here somewhere, Ectocharge, something like that. There's some decent stuff there. Then we have Squall Master, a 3-power priest and Aquan with after fight or reap. Each player discards a random card from their hand. If you scrap it, you exhaust an enemy creature. Tendrils from Beyond, also great. Works very similar to Dragnet, really. It's an action with an amber. When you play it, you choose a creature. The otherwise is return that creature to its owner's hand. But if its controller is haunted, you return that creature and each of its neighbors to their owner's hand. So potentially returns 3. And then we have Trawler, who's a 4-power Aquan that says, if you're haunted, capture all your opponent's amber. That's a good hard stop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 amber pips is not bad, and there's some good effects in here, although I think nothing crazy. I'm gonna guess this is gonna be like another 75, but we shall see. Did I write it okay? Yeah, okay. $74. Yep, pretty close there. Again, seems okay. The Geistoid especially seems interesting. The other stuff, I think if you throw like a Bryo in that fish pod, suddenly it's great. Um, but it just suffers from maybe not enough utility. Cool. Okay, that's that. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and that you'll get out there and forge some keys.